Hello guys. Okay, don't worry about what's down there. That's being hidden for the minute. Okay, so I have been wanting to tell you about this, but it feels like it's been forever. Because I'm not very good at keeping secrets, especially from you guys. So, where shall I start? Okay, so a few weeks ago, some of you said that you would like me to try out some Let's Resin products. So I contacted Let's Resin, and they were lovely, really lovely. They contacted me back really quickly. They answered all the questions that I had, and they asked me to send them my, if I would be prepared to share my YouTube channel with them. So I did, and they actually offered to send me some of their, a couple of their products to try. Well, I was absolutely over the moon, you can imagine. It's like, you want to send to me, little tiny speck of a YouTube channel, me. So yeah, they liked our channel, guys. They liked what we do. I said, yes, please. I know my subscribers would love for me to try out a couple of your products. So, we have a couple of things to try. You know me, we are going to test these products and we are going to find out everything about them. So over a period of videos, I'm going to test the products and we're going to see exactly what they can do. And so the first thing they sent me, which I was so excited about, because as soon as they sent me a link to their site, I had to look, and the first thing that struck to me that somebody had already said that they had tried out was their chameleon powders. So lo and behold, they sent me some chameleon powders. So I have opened these. I have done some tests already of the colours. There is some more tests that I want to do to make sure that you guys, we can see what colours they come out, because let me tell you, you really need to see these colours in different ways, because they blew my mind. They are gorgeous. They are stunning. You know that I like mica powders, that when we I like dusting the moulds with the mica powders, and there's lots of things that we can do, and you know that I like glitters, and the reason we like glitters is because of the sparkle, the refraction of the light. They are give the lovely effects, and so I thought there is so much we can do with these. So they also very kindly sent me the link to a couple of videos so that I could have a look at how they performed, so I could get the best out of the product. So I had a quick look so that I could see, and then I thought definitely we can do things with these. So let me show you what comes in the box. So this is the 10 colours. This is all the colours that they do in the chameleon powders, and they say it comes with a little brush, which I've put back in the box, and this is a beautiful brush. It is really soft, applies the powders beautifully. It really is a nice brush, actually. You don't want to overload the brush, but you need enough product on there, but these go a really long way. But you don't want to overload, because you don't want the powder flying everywhere. One, you don't want to be breathing in excess powder you don't need, but you don't want it to be flying everywhere. Now these are 5-gram pots. Now that doesn't sound a lot, but there's quite a lot in there. So this is the olive. Now this is probably, and I'll show you the colour samples in a second, but this is probably the most deceiving, because this looks, I hope you can see that, like white. And it says olive, and I was like, olive? Well, that's not white. But you wait till you see it. And the other thing I found, it was in the video, the clip they sent me, it says to get a really, to get the most out of the colours in the powder, use a dark resin. I thought, okay, alright. So I thought, well, you know how my cogs turn. Like, what happens then if you use a white resin, a clear resin, a dark resin? So that's one of the videos that I'm going to do after this one. I've done a small snippet to show you the difference, and then what I thought is we're going to do each 10 colours in clear, white and black, and then we can see the real difference between all the colours. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to mount them on a board and put them up so that I can see, but also so that you guys can see, so that you can see the difference. But if I open this for you, I have opened these, but when I put them back in, they stick down, which is really good actually. But you see that? It looks like, you know, it reminds me of my favourite glitter. See? Look at this. But my goodness, when you use it, guys. Right, let me show you. This. Now I've only done, I did it because I wanted it to see clear. So I've done like, I've used this mould. Well, it looks, it's covered in powder now. So I used this cabochon mould, or cabochon, not cabochon, cabochon mould. But it's covered in powder now. And I did a clear, like a thin coat of it, a couple of coats. And that's clear. Can you see that? I'll show you again in a minute on a background. But you won't believe that, you won't actually believe this. This is white, so you can see the opacity of it. Okay, are you ready? This is on black. How mad is that? How mad is that? So now can you see why they call it olive? I was like, you have to be joking. The difference in the reflection and the refraction of the particles in the light is crazy. I was like, no, that is not the same colour. That can't be the same colour. So what I did was, all I did, and this mould is like, it is covered in bits of resin, is instead of mixing the powder with the resin, I just literally dipped the brush and then I went round the mould, and so the powder was literally on the surface of the mould, and then poured the resin in and sort of rolled the resin, the UV resin, I used UV resin, around, and then cured it for a minute each time and did a couple of coats of just the resin. So I did the one coat of powder, then a couple of coats of the resin, and I got these crazy results, So that's the olive, and I'm going to go through all the colours with you, but these colours are beautiful. So give me a sec, and I'm going to lay out all the colours for you. We'll come back and I'll show you all the colours, but they are gorgeous. Okay, so I'll try and go through these quickly because I know we want to get to the main focus of the video. So this is the olive. This is the olive in the clear. I'll keep them down on here because you can see them better when I. So this is clear resin. You have to excuse my nails. I've been testing and everything. They did look lovely, but they're all mashed now. This is in white UV resin, and this is in black. Can you believe the difference? I was absolutely blown away when I saw the difference. Because, I said, the video they sent me said it's best to do it on dark, on dark resin. I was like, oh, it really is the difference that. And I was absolutely, now this is pretty, I love this, you know how I love my pearl white. And I was like, but then when I did the black, I couldn't believe the difference. So, as I said, I'm going to do a full video on the difference, what each one looks like with different colours. So that's the olive. Okay. I still can't get over the difference. That's the olive. Then this is plum. This is so pretty. Look how pretty it is. This is plum. And that. Now I haven't done a black, and I've done a couple of them in the clear and the but I've done all of them in the black. So this is the clear and this is the black. The difference is amazing. I'm just going to see if you can see that. A little bit there. So that's the plum. And the two-tone effect you get with these chameleon powders is absolutely, so you can see the black underneath, is unbelievable. So sort of the olive went from like two-tone of green, sort of like a gold to green, And this one sort of goes from a blue purple to like a light sort of pink purple. It really is pretty, really, really is pretty. And I'm going to tell you the project I'm going to do in a minute. I did these spheres thin so that this is golden. Now this golden has got like, it's gold, and then in the bottle it looks like it's got like a, almost like a green and a red undertone to it, but then it's green, and then I didn't do another one to this one, and then this is the colour. Oh, see, these are unruly. Can you see? It's like a green and a gold. They're so beautiful. And the project I'm going to do, I'm hoping, is going to work. Like, it's in my head, it's perfect. In my head. So this is teal. This is definitely one of the ones I'm going to use for the project. And I think I'm going to use the golden and... Oh, come on, I've opened you so many times. Why do you stick back together? So this teal is a bit hard to see what you think it's going to be. It's got like a deeper teal colour in it. Almost like a green. It's so pretty. I love this colour. And then, oh, let's put the lid on, we do not want any mishaps. So that's the teal. Now I did this in the 3 colours. So this is clear. This is white, which I really like. Got some little favourites. I like the white. I really like that. But when you use the white, you get a little bit of two-tone. But it's just, you kind of, and then you just wait. This is the black. Just look at that. It's gorgeous. So you really see now the refraction of the light. You really see like the blue turn into like this green and like a different type of blue. It's stunning. Definitely using this one. Definitely. This is perfect for what I want to do. So that's that. Then this is blue. And this is more purple to me. So you know where I've used like the interference mica that looks like a white stroke purple before? If you've been watching me a long time, you'll know that. And I love that one. I love that colour. These are even more pretty than that. So this is the blue. And I think this possibly is my favourite out of all of them. So that's the blue. And then I've only done the one of this. And this is... Can you see that? It's like... You could just get lost in this forever, couldn't you? The blue and the purple of that are gorgeous. So that's that one. And then this is Galaxy. Now the Galaxy seems to be made up of so many different colours. So if you look in there, I can see red, blue, almost brown. Seems to be so many different colours in there. Purple. And each time you turn it, you see a slightly different colour. And that is this one. I do hope I'm still in shot, guys. I'm very sorry. So you can see green, purple, blue. I hope you can pick up all that on the camera, because each time I look at it from a different angle, I get a different colour. And that really is very, very pretty. So it's like, I'm thinking, how many colours can I get away with in the project that I want to do? And I will tell you in a second what I want to do. So grape, which is another purple. And at first I was like, oh, all these seem so similar. And when you see them together, they do look similar, but they're all like the reverse of each other. So when put together, they all add different things. So this is very pretty. This is like blue, purple, but in opposite effect of the other one. Because I was like, oh, well, this is blue and purple as well. But when you put them together, they look so different. And there's green in this as well. Because when I look at it in the powder form, I'm like, oh, it's blue and purple. And then when it comes out, it's like, oh, no, it's green, blue, purple, there's gold. And it's lovely. It's lovely. And each time, I mean, this is just in a sort of semi-sphere. When you, let's say you were to do them sort of, I'm going to try one in my teddy bear. And I wonder if any of you, you've seen my teddy bear videos. And that has lots of different facet faces. Some of these will look absolutely stunning in those. So this is mint. So this really does look this looks pinky mint. And this is gold, green, and it's also got like a pink hue, which I think is very sweet. But then I'll keep this one open when I pull this out, because look, it's purple, green, and got a hint of gold. So as much that they look very different to in the pot, I feel, which is really exciting because you never actually know what's going to come out. And I love the fact that they look really different, because it makes it really exciting. So this is champagne, and the depth of colour on this one is beautiful. So this is nice. And this one is probably quite close actually to what's in the pot. So you've got a beautiful purple sheen and pink hue against the gold. I was blown away by these. I've never seen colours as gorgeous as these. I love my micas, and I've been using micas for years, because before I did resin I used to make soap. So I've been using, and bath bombs, I've been using micas for a long time, many years, and I've seen some stunning mica colours. And the two tones in these just blow me away. So this one is magenta, and this one is lovely. And it just looks, it's very strong two-tone pink, and it's got a gold undertone. And it is very much different purple pink, but it does have a very strong gold undertone when you turn and twist. I hope you can get that. And the glittery undertones in these are gorgeous. So what am I going to do? What project am I going to do with all of these beautiful colours? Now let me bring them all into line for you so that you can see them all together. Aren't they lovely? Aren't they gorgeous? Now, even though they look very similar, you go, oh yeah, but they're so similar. Well, they are and they're not, because they're like total flip of each other. They're like, one's gold, one's sort of purple on blue, and the other one's blue on purple, and then there's sort of, they're all just, when you look at them, you're like, oh, actually, no, every time I look at them, they're different. They're beautiful. So, you have to have a project that does, I'm going to do some more tests for you guys. That'll be a different video, because that's going to be a whole new thing. I saw this mould, and I was like, this is so cute. So I'm going to show you this mould, and I'm also going to show you the second product they sent me, and then we're going to try this out together, and then we're going to test it out together. This will be the first time I've used the second product, and then we can see together what it's like. But you know what I'm like, we test these products together, we see whether they're for us, and yep, we will, you know me, I'm totally honest, I would never lie to you guys. So let's see if these are any good. Okay, so the second project they sent me, which I thought would be most useful, because you go on their site and it's all beautiful and you go, oh, I love this and this and this, but I wanted to be real and I wanted something that would be really useful to you guys. So this, you know, this is about you guys at the end of the day. So I thought the most useful thing would be to test out their resin. And a lovely lady subscriber had said that she'd tried their resin, and I thought that's going to be the most useful to you guys. So I've already had a peek in the box, and I must say, because the first thing I look at is packaging and presentation. That tells me whether a company, one, are interested in what, now can you see that, guys? Are interested in, you know, presentation, they're interested in their product, they're interested, yes, you can see that, you know, in everything, in the look of their product, that kind of thing. So it's very smartly put together. The box is very clean, everything's very smart. The bottles are really nice size. They're 32 ounce each. And then they give you these little leaflets which show you some of their products. Show you some things that you can do. I thought it was really nice. So you've got resin kits, moulds, complete set, resin coasters. Just shows you a nice little, shows you that they care, the company cares about their products. It's showing them off. But what I really liked was this. I have had people contact me in the past, and I've had people contact me and ask me about instructions about mixing their resin, about how to mix the resin, and that they've had bottles sent to them with no instructions, that they've no instructions on the bottles, they've got that the instructions on the side of the bottle are in another language, that they don't know how to use the resin, and every resin is different. So you know me, I always try and help the best I can, but it's very difficult because every resin, there are hundreds of different resins, and every resin is different. But what I love about this is that they send you a little leaflet. Now, I've never had a resin that has sent me, now you guys might have had lots, but you've seen the resins that I've had, and I haven't had resin that has sent me as good a little leaflet. The Sophie and Toffee send you little booklets, but they're not, and I love Sophie and Toffee, and you know I'm very real with you guys, I don't get on with the Sophie and Toffee 3-to-1. I don't. It doesn't like me. I don't get on with it. Their 1-to-1 is great. Their UV is great, but their 3-to-1, you saw me with the Halloween, it doesn't like me. But I love this. It's got a little bit of troubleshooting, it's got some tips and tricks, and I just thought it was really nice. I liked that. I gave them some good feedback straight away and said that I thought this was a really good idea. This is cool. So I have not opened this, I have not used this because I want to do it first time with you guys. Let's see. Now, every resin, I'm not going to, you know, every resin takes a little bit of getting used to. The third and the fourth time I use this will be even better. But let's see how easy it is to use straight away. I'm not saying that's going to, you know, we might have bubbles, we might have things go wrong, but let's do it together and let's see how easy it is to fix those mistakes. Because then that will tell me if I'm absolutely awful at this and I get it all wrong, then I know it's a tricky resin to get used to because I've been doing resin for several years. And that tells me and tells you guys that it doesn't mean it's terrible and let's not use it again. It means that it's tricky and we've got to get used to it. So this is the cute little mould I'm going to use. It's a gecko. My son loves lizards, loves geckos. And so when I saw it, I was like, oh, I love this. My first thought was, I'll use mica powders. And then when I got talking to Let's Resin, I'm like, hang on a minute. Wait a minute. Chameleon powders, perfect. So my idea is this. Let's choose about 4 different, possibly more, because you know how carried away I get, different colours, and go down the body, put it in down, layering down. I might even do different colours for the feet, layering down some different powders, perhaps different colours for the tail, and then we will pour in the resin. We might do some little ones as well. Perhaps we'll do the little ones in totally different colours, and we'll see. Perhaps we'll do one with the pinks, do one with the main one with the blues and the greens, do sort of gold little feet. And then I love the high shine. If this comes out sort of more matte, because I've not used this mold before, then we might overcoat in UV. Perhaps we'll bring in some of the glass glitter chips that we reviewed last week. Bring in some of that. Perhaps, you know, I haven't decided yet. And then once we've done that, we've got these little spirals, so we're going to have to do something with those to make those stand out. We could go over with acrylic paint. We could do a different colour. We could do. I'm undecided, but we're going to have to do something to make those pop. Because in a dark background with all these beautiful colours, making those pop after is going to be a lovely idea. And I want the eyes to pop. So let's do that. We'll come back and we'll see. So I won't talk during the video because I'll be masked up and I'll be gloved up. But let's see how good this is. Once we've completed, we'll come back, we'll discuss the pros and cons of this, and we'll have a look, and we'll hopefully have some cute little geckos. Okay guys, see you in a minute. little Gecko. Let's have a look at that. And look at this mould a wash. Right, are you ready? Oh wow! I love him! Look at that! It's beautiful! So, I know we used the golden and the teal and the blue and the galaxy and the olive. Look at the olive. The olive was here and here. We had on the nose. These two are very similar. I know these are different, but I did merge them together. This is gorgeous. I love this. So we've got some decisions to make now. We've got some bubbles. We've got some bubbles, but that's okay. That's okay. We had some bubbles in the little, not in these ones, but we had some bubbles, but that's okay. So I want to do something with these swirls, and I want the eyes to pop, so I'm going to do some resin, some coloured resin or paint. I might try and use multimedia on this, and we might try and paint these eyes and make these parts of the pupils pop. And I might use some paint in here. I'm going to 3D paint these, but not 3D these. I want these to go in, this to come out. What colour I use in these, I think I'm going to go for a yellow or a lime green in here. I'm going to maybe go for a glossy black on the eyes, with possibly, or I could use a UV resin and go for some glitter on the eyes. I quite fancy some of that chip as part, and perhaps do some scales here, just a little bit. And I think I really like this. I love these powders. I love them. The colours they give you are phenomenal. Do I want it glossy? I love the glossy look, but I actually really quite like this matte effect now. I'm really loving the matte effect. I love the glossiness, but this is giving me like glittery glossiness without the glossy finish in the mould. So I'm torn. I kind of like it. Okay. I'm going to, let's just see where things take us, and I'll bring you back when we're done. we are done. What do you think? I love him. He's beautiful. I love how he came out. Or she. Or she. I'm really intrigued actually. If you look at the test pieces we did and then at the colours, so these are the colours we used, they look different again. So let me run through them quickly with you so that you can see. I'll put them in order so that I can remember which one. So this is the olive, which we used for the nose and the toes and the tip of the tail. This is golden, that we used for the rest of the tail base and coming up here, so that looks slightly different again. And then we used the teal, so that's this one, for here, this here, and I do think that looks similar, but you can really tell how the difference, whether it's flat or whether it's concave, convex, whether that makes a difference. It really does make a difference with the reflection of the colours. And then we came up to Galaxy, so we skipped this one for a second, we came up to Galaxy for this one, for the tummy in that here. Obviously I did blend the colours as we go. And then back to the blue, which was this one, for this area here. And then we came to mint, and we mixed a little bit of mint for the head here coming up to the nose. And we put some more, I think we put some more mint into the tip of the tail. But I can't, it's been a little while now, and I'll tell you why. This video has took me a lot longer to complete the end of than I had envisaged. I started this video a couple of weeks ago. It took me, well, I'm trying to think now, it took me well over a week to complete this video. And the reason being is that we had a little bit of an incident where my daughter fell at work and hurt herself, and I had to go. She works out in the sticks, and I sort of got a phone call, and I had to go and rescue her, so to speak. And my husband wasn't here, and I'm not very good at directions, so I did get lost, but we found her, and we thought she'd broken her ankle, but she hasn't. She's torn ligaments in her foot, so we're very grateful that she hasn't broken any bones, but she's very swollen and very sore. So the last several days have been a bit of a blur, so I haven't been able to work. So, but we're back now. She's on painkillers and she's hobbling around, so I'm trying to sort of catch up now and get back and finish this off for you guys. So I'm very sorry for that. So how did we go? How did it perform? Well, the powders are stunning. I love how they perform differently. The mould was satin rather than glossy, so they have given us a little bit more of a different effect. I love how we've been able to add different things in. The glass glitter that I only did the video on a little while ago has actually come at exactly the right time. It has worked beautifully with these powders. I love how this has come out. Everything I've seen to sort of compile at the moment, the new moulds, the Gecko mould, the powders, the glass glitter, everything has just worked out lovely. I did change in the video, you'll see I did these little spots originally in the lime green. I did change that for the yellow because I just thought that they needed to stand out alone, so I did do that. I changed that off camera. I just wasn't happy with them and I couldn't work out why, and then I thought they need to stand alone. It's only a subtle difference, but it does make a difference. It did look instantly better. So, resin. This resin I was really pleased with, actually. It works a lot faster than I am used to, and that is something that I am quite happy to adapt to, actually, because some of the projects that I do and have done, I really could do with a faster working resin. And one of the things, and this is now given us open possibilities for us guys to test this resin out with coasters and with marbling techniques and things like that. This resin I think would work great. So with the resin, you'll notice that I did some temperature checks, and that I wanted to see how fast this resin heated, because with my slow set resins, there you have got like a couple of hours work time. There you have got loads of lead time on those. This resin you don't. So with this resin, easy flowing work time I found. Now I followed the instructions, but I did not warm, I will tell you, I did not warm the resin before I started. Now the reason I did not warm the resin before I started is because I have had trouble in the past with resins that I've done that with. Trouble. I've heated up a resin, I can't remember what the resin was that I used, and I heated that resin and it superheated on me. And I only warmed it in water, I only warmed it, but I had bad experiences. So I didn't pre-warm the resin. And I still found that I had about 30-35 minutes work time with this before it started to get thick. And even when it was thick, it still self-leveled nicely. It's still, so if you were looking for, and which is what I'm going to do, we're going to make some coasters with this. Because when I use my resin where I've got ample time with, my swirls just don't, they don't swirl, because they end up, with a longer setting resin, it moves for ages. So when you want those swirls, like the agate coasters to stay, they don't stay. It just goes into one. So I'm going to do some agate, some resins with some coasters with this, and I think that lead time will be much better. So heating up, we heated from sort of 26-27 degrees. I let it sit for 5 to 8 minutes to debubble before I poured. In that time we went from 26-27 degrees to 34, and that told me that the resin, it is indeed a faster curing resin. It was heating nicely. I wasn't concerned that we were going to volcano or anything like that. I was quite prepared. I had things ready just in case we did. It does tell you about mixing in a single pour. No more than 200 ml recommended to be mixed in one time. I did, if you noticed, 150 ml. I wanted to push it so that we'd got a good amount of resin so I could see how much it heated, but not push it too close to 200 because I've never worked with this before. So we did 150, and I had a nice heat up. So that tells me that is definitely the case. I would not do more than the 200 they recommend. But I knew, I'd sort of, as soon as I started to pour, I knew that we'd got a nice mould that was sort of flat. So I wasn't pouring at a depth. So we weren't going to get a volcano effect. So I let it sit, and it did go thick towards the end when I was pouring into the baby ones. These are the baby ones. I haven't decorated the baby ones. These are the baby ones. They were, but they still levelled out beautifully. I didn't have any lumps, bumps. I didn't have any qualms about them going into the mould. Lovely. So you could still work quite happily after that time. So you would get the full, it says work time is 40 to 50 minutes. I'm quite confident you would get a good 45-minute work time on this. Depends on the project you would do it. If you needed something where you needed a thin pour, then obviously your working time is shorter. If a thick pour was fine for you, like with the agate geode coasters, which I'm desperately really happy to, I'm going to try those. So I've written some notes, and my notes are really scrappy, but I've written them for you. So I'm dead pleased with the powders. The application was great. The effects are great. Every time I try these powders, they're going to come out different. It's going to be beautiful. Right, warning. They say this, you have to, I know some people, I wear gloves always when I do epoxy resin. I'm a little bit cheeky sometimes when I do my UV resin, but with my epoxy resin, I try and make sure I'm gloved up and I'm protected. I then tidied it up, and I ended up getting some resin on my hands. Whoa. This is the stickiest resin I've ever worked with. I was super sticky. Now it does give you advice, and it says if it comes in contact with skin, use alcohol or hand sanitizer and then wash with soapy water. Now, I didn't have any of that on hand, but what I did have was my natural salt scrub that I make with salts, butters, oils. And it came off, and I washed my hands, and I used a salt scrub. But when I used soap and water, there was no chance it was coming off. So when I use my salt scrub, so next time I would get, I would make sure that I had some sanitizer and stuff close to hand. But it was super sticky. I only got a small amount on my hands, but you definitely need to wear gloves. I would never use resin without wearing gloves anyway. That would be silly. But for you guys, I know some people go, oh, it's all fine, I'll get resin on my hands all the time. You need to wear gloves with this stuff. It's brilliant, but it's sticky. We did not have much shrinkage. We had a really small amount of shrinkage. Now, I have had resins where I have had some super shrinkage, but we hardly had any shrinkage, just a small amount, and so I'm really happy with the shrinkage of this. It was great. No smell. I didn't notice a smell. I had my mask on, I was masked up, but once I'd done, and I always have my window open, great ventilation, when I took all my stuff off and I didn't notice any smell at all. So I was like, oh, that's great, because quite often I'll take one and I'll think, oh, I can still smell, you know, sort of resin around it. Nothing. I could smell nothing. So I was really pleased with that. When I poured this resin, we're on a warm summer's day. We're having quite a warm spell at the moment, and it was 22 degrees Celsius here. So we're on quite a warm day. In a winter's day, you would have more lead time to work with that. So do work that into your factor when you are working that out. But overall, I'm super happy with this resin. It isn't cheap. It isn't a cheap resin. I'm not going to lie to you, but it is really good. I'm really happy with it. It's one of the best resins I've worked with. I'm not going to lie. It's one of the best. There's a few things again on that I would tweak. So I was stirring really slowly. I've sped up the video obviously for you guys quite quickly. So a couple of things I stirred really slowly. I let it sit. It degassed really nicely. So perhaps next time, if I needed a bit more working time, I wouldn't need to let it sit for that 5 minutes, because I was quite happy with the degassing of the bubbles. So I wouldn't need to let it sit. I'd probably, if I wanted a bit more work time, get on and just carry on. The colours mixed in really nicely, so I was really happy with all of that. So yeah, all in all, I'm really, really chuffed with this resin. I will definitely continue using this resin. I will definitely continue. I mean, it's not cheap resin. It is good. You get what you pay for. It is good stuff. I like the extras. I like the way the company presents itself. I like the little manual that you get. It says super clear epoxy resin, mold friendly, no odour, no VOCs, bubble free, self-leveling, and I agree with everything they've said. Working temperature, work time, mixing ratio. Now that's one thing. Most of the resins I use are by weight. This one is by volume, so that was something that I've got to get used to. So you'll notice in the video I poured into one container, then poured it out, and then I used the same that container. And the reason is, where's my little container I use? I'm not 100% whether the measurements on this container are perfect. So I measured to the 75mm gauge. I poured it into another container, and then I used this, and I wanted to measure to that exact 75mm, because I'm not sure whether these increments are perfect. So I wanted, rather than measure to the 75mm and then go, I wanted to make sure that I was measuring to that same mark, so I knew that was exactly the same. So in order to do by volume, I will make sure that I know the containers I'm using are exact and precise. That way you get a really good mix. You make sure that your resin is perfect, and you know. So people who use by volume a lot will have everything already set up, but I normally go by weight. So that was a new one for me, and that's, you know, the other thing I really love about this is it says for coasters it's heat resistant. Now the other resin I've used in the past, and I can't think of the name right now, was very expensive for the heat resin, the resin that I used for the coasters. So that is really good. So, would I use this resin again? Absolutely. Would I be more prepared the next time? I don't think there was anything major that I came across just the working time that I would be a bit more prepared, and yeah, would have things for the working time if I need to do an intricate design, that I would be a little bit more prepared. And now I've used it once. When I've used it a couple of times, I will know exactly how it's going to react. Yeah, so I don't think there's anything that I would wear, apart from the super stickiness, which I'll be more mindful not to pick up the stuff after I've took my gloves off. Then I'm absolutely ecstatic with this resin. The powders are stunning. So much more to go with these guys, absolutely. Now, the one thing I will say is they have absolutely kindly given me an affiliate link to put in the description box below. Now, I know there's some people like affiliate links, some people don't. I'm super excited actually to have an affiliate link with this company. In my opinion, they're a really good company. I wouldn't say to you guys that I wouldn't be positive about a company that I didn't think were good. The affiliate link doesn't cost you any more, but it does give me a little something to be able to do this kind of stuff for you, to be able to get more products for the channel and to help the channel go forward. I'll be absolutely very, very grateful if you use that link. If you don't want to, that's up to you, and I totally understand. I say it doesn't cost you any more, but it does give me a little something to help me go forward. But other than that, guys, yeah, I'm super excited. You know, this is a journey that I didn't think we'd be on. Let's enjoy this. Let's try out these products, and yeah, and I think this is great. I love it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope all you guys are well, and yeah, I hope to see you soon. Take care, everybody, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.